Should older adults sleep in complete darkness or with a dim night light? The answer might determine not only the quality of your sleep, but also your overall health. Sleep is not just about closing your eyes and resting. For older adults, it is like a natural medicine that helps restore memory, protects the heart, and keeps the mind clear. But there is one factor that many people often overlook: the light in your bedroom. Just a small amount of light is enough for your eyes to send signals to your brain, disrupting the production of melatonin, the hormone that helps us fall into a deep, restful sleep. And when melatonin is thrown off balance, your sleep becomes fragmented, which can lead to a whole range of problems: fatigue, memory loss, and even higher risks of heart disease and dementia. So, should we sleep in total darkness to maximize melatonin, or does dim lighting play a safe role that most people do not know about? The answer will reveal some surprising insights and might change the way you take care of your sleep starting today. Before we dive deeper, leave a comment below with a positive affirmation like, "I will protect my sleep and health every night," or simply share any intention you have. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you will not miss out on valuable tips that help us stay healthy and peaceful as we age. Let's build a community full of positive energy together. To understand why even the smallest amount of light can disrupt sleep, we need to go back to two key players: the eyes and the brain, the silent duo that controls our biological clock and the hormone melatonin. First, the eyes, the gateway for light. Our eyes do more than help us see the world. They also act as an important biological switch. Inside the retina, aside from the typical rod and cone cells that detect images, there is a special group of cells called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells, or IPRGCs. These cells do not help us see objects clearly, but they are extremely sensitive to blue light, the type of light commonly emitted by the sun, LED bulbs, smartphones, and television screens. These cells are the true gatekeepers that send light signals to the brain. When light enters the eyes, the IPRGCs detect its intensity and wavelength, then send signals directly to a small area in the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or suprachiasmatic, the body's master biological clock. The suprachiasmatic works like a conductor, deciding when the body should be alert and when it should rest. Even a tiny bit of light will signal the suprachiasmatic that daytime is still happening, which then suppresses the pineal gland from producing melatonin. On the other hand, when the eyes stop receiving light, the suprachiasmatic signals the pineal gland to start releasing melatonin, which helps the body transition into sleep mode. What is especially important for older adults is that this process becomes more sensitive and easier to disrupt. Conditions like cataracts, less responsive pupils, and weakened retinas make it harder for the eyes to absorb natural light during the day, while making them overly sensitive to artificial light at night. This throws off the body's internal clock, resulting in shallow sleep, frequent awakenings, and difficulty maintaining a stable sleep rhythm. Imagine this. At night, you turn on a small night light with a warm yellow glow, thinking it is harmless, but your eyes still detect that light and immediately signal your brain to stop producing melatonin. Your sleep gets disrupted from the inside out, without you even realizing it. This is why the eyes, which we usually only think of as tools for vision, play such a critical role in whether you can truly achieve deep sleep. Second, the brain, the command center of the biological clock. If the eyes are the gateway for light, then the brain is the command center that decides whether the body should be awake or at rest. Deep in the hypothalamus, there is a tiny yet powerful group of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Suprachiasmatic. Do not be fooled by its small size. The suprachiasmatic is the central biological clock that keeps the body's rhythm in sync. When the eyes detect light and send signals to the suprachiasmatic, it processes the information and issues commands to the entire body. If there is still light, the suprachiasmatic interprets this as daytime and triggers hormones that help the body stay alert, while also preventing the pineal gland from releasing melatonin. But once darkness sets in, the suprachiasmatic quickly shifts its signals, telling the pineal gland to start producing melatonin, a hormone that slows the heart rate, lowers body temperature, and helps the brain enter a state of rest. The suprachiasmatic acts like a conductor of an orchestra. It does not just manage sleep, but also links with many other functions like blood pressure, heart rate, metabolism, and even mood. When the biological clock gets thrown off, the whole orchestra of the body plays out of tune. Older adults can feel this clearly through sleepless nights, fatigue during the day, memory lapses, and a general sense of mental fog. When we are young, the suprachiasmatic is sharp and well aligned with light and darkness, but with age, it loses its precision. On top of that, artificial light at night confuses the suprachiasmatic. It thinks it is still daytime, leading to reduced melatonin production. The result is shorter, more fragmented sleep, and the body's ability to recover becomes weaker. So now that we understand how the eyes and brain regulate melatonin, what actually happens when older adults sleep in total darkness versus with a dim light? Let us compare. First, sleeping in total darkness. Sleeping in complete darkness is not just a simple habit. It is a powerful foundation for protecting the health of older adults. When there is absolutely no light, the body can fully activate melatonin production, often called the hormone of darkness. This is the signal the brain needs to know it is time to rest. As melatonin levels rise, the body enters a recovery mode. The heart rate slows, body temperature drops, and the brain shifts away from stress to focus on repair. This leads to deeper, more restorative sleep, with fewer awakenings during the night and a refreshed feeling in the morning. For older adults, who often struggle with disrupted sleep, this is incredibly important. Melatonin also plays a crucial role in keeping the body's internal clock stable. This biological clock controls the daily rhythm of alertness and rest. Sleeping in total darkness resets this clock each night, making nighttime sleep more regular, helping you wake up with more energy and reducing daytime drowsiness. Scientific studies have backed the long-term benefits of sleeping in complete darkness. First, it helps lower the risk of heart disease. Deep sleep naturally reduces blood pressure, stabilizes heart rhythm, and relieves stress on the cardiovascular system. In contrast, frequent light exposure during sleep raises the risk of high blood pressure and arrhythmias. Second, sleeping in total darkness supports healthy blood sugar levels and weight. Research shows that even low levels of light at night can increase insulin resistance and disrupt energy metabolism. Studies have found that exposure to light during sleep worsens blood sugar regulation the next morning. Observational studies in older adults have also linked nighttime light exposure to obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. Third, deep sleep in darkness acts as a shield for the brain and memory. During deep sleep, the brain clears out waste products, including beta amyloid, a protein buildup believed to be a key cause of Alzheimer's disease. When sleep is interrupted by light, this cleanup process is limited, increasing the risk of memory decline and dementia over time. Maintaining darkness at night gives the brain the chance to clean itself each night, protecting both memory and thinking ability. And let us not forget one more major benefit. Deep sleep in darkness helps regulate mood. Melatonin is closely connected to serotonin, the happiness hormone. When you sleep well in a dark environment, this balance is maintained, reducing the risk of anxiety and depression. For older adults, having mental clarity and emotional stability is a vital part of healthy, peaceful aging. Second, sleeping with a dim light. Many older adults tend to leave a small nightlight on in the bedroom, believing that it makes nighttime movement safer, especially if they need to get up to use the restroom. However, what seems like a harmless habit might actually be one of the main reasons why their sleep quality keeps getting worse over time. Ideally, Your bedroom should be kept as dark as possible while sleeping to support natural sleep cycles. According to international health guidelines that use the melanopic EDI scale, the ideal level of nighttime light exposure should not exceed 1 melanopic lux. If some amount of light is absolutely necessary for nighttime safety, it should stay below 10 melanopic lux. The best type of light to use is a red or amber light, which should be placed below eye level and designed to turn on only when motion is detected in the room. When melatonin production is suppressed, the body struggles to shift into a truly restful state. Older adults may find it harder to fall asleep, experience lighter or more fragmented sleep, wake up frequently, and start their mornings feeling exhausted or drained of energy. This transforms nighttime into a frustrating cycle and causes grogginess, slower mental processing, poor concentration, and lower quality of life during the daytime. Another serious issue is the disruption of the circadian rhythm. The biological clock of the body depends heavily on clear, consistent signals of light and darkness to function properly. When dim lights are left on throughout the night, the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the brain gets confused. It can no longer distinguish clearly between day and night, especially in older individuals whose body clocks may already be less precise. Over time, this causes the body's internal rhythm to fall out of sync, making it harder to sleep at night and more likely to feel sleepy during the day. Light exposure at night not only interferes with sleep, but also contributes to long-term health risks. Research shows that people who regularly sleep with any level of light in the room are more likely to develop health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and metabolic disorders. One of the reasons is that melatonin, which is naturally produced in darkness, is a powerful antioxidant that supports heart health, helps regulate insulin, and maintains blood sugar balance. When melatonin production is constantly interrupted, the body's ability to stay balanced begins to weaken, slowly increasing the risk of chronic illness. Another concern that deserves serious attention is the effect of nighttime light on brain health and memory. During deep sleep, the brain performs an essential cleanup process to remove waste products like beta amyloid, a protein linked closely to Alzheimer's disease. When sleep is regularly interrupted by artificial light, this process becomes less efficient. Over time, harmful waste builds up in the brain, potentially leading to memory decline, slower cognitive responses, and a greater chance of developing dementia. Nighttime lighting can also take a toll on emotional well-being. Several studies have found that people who consistently sleep in rooms with dim lighting are more likely to experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. This happens because lower melatonin levels disrupt the delicate balance between melatonin and serotonin, the hormone that plays a major role in regulating mood and emotional stability. That is why older adults who sleep with lights on often feel emotionally low, mentally sluggish, or less motivated the following day. Many seniors say they keep a light on throughout the night to safely navigate to the bathroom and prevent falls. While this may seem like a practical safety measure, it can quietly harm your long-term health. A better solution is to install a motion-activated nightlight with a soft red or orange glow that only turns on briefly when you move and turns off immediately afterward. This approach provides safety without overly interfering with your body's natural melatonin production. Clearly, nighttime light is the enemy of good sleep, but that does not mean light is always bad. At the right times, light can actually act like a powerful natural medicine that improves your physical and mental health. Light is not inherently harmful. In fact, it behaves more like a double-edged sword. When it comes at the right time, it helps us stay alert, supports our daily energy rhythm, and promotes overall well-being. But if light appears at the wrong time, especially close to bedtime or during the night, it becomes a silent disruptor that interferes with sleep quality and health. That is why it is not just about whether there is light or not. What truly matters is when the light shows up. During the daytime, especially in the early morning, natural sunlight plays a vital role in regulating our internal body clock. When blue light from the sun reaches our eyes, the light-sensitive cells inside send a powerful signal to the brain, effectively resetting the circadian rhythm. This helps the body recognize that it is now daytime, boosts alertness, gently raises cortisol levels to give you energy, and suppresses melatonin production, so you do not feel sleepy anymore. For older adults, getting natural light in the morning helps align the body's rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep in the evening and improving the overall quality of sleep. Multiple studies show that people who spend at least 30 minutes outdoors in the morning tend to sleep better at night, wake up less often, and feel more mentally positive. This means morning light does not just help you feel alert right away, it also prepares your body for better sleep later on. For seniors, a simple habit, like taking a walk outside in the morning, is not just good for the heart, but also acts like a natural sleep aid. On the other hand, nighttime light is a major issue. Once it gets dark, your body depends on darkness to produce melatonin. But if you expose yourself to light, whether it is from a bedroom lamp, the television, or a phone screen, your brain receives a signal that daytime might still be happening. The suprachiasmatic becomes confused, and the pineal gland slows or stops melatonin production. This explains why many older adults say they have trouble falling asleep after using a phone or watching television in the dark. Even more, the timing of artificial light exposure matters a lot. Blue light in the evening, especially right before bed, does the most harm, and even a faint night light, if used often enough, can disrupt your biological clock. That is why nighttime light needs to be controlled carefully. The darker, the better. In other words, we need to use light at the right times and avoid it at the wrong times. During the day, especially in the morning, get as much natural sunlight as possible. At night, create complete darkness so your brain and body can rest fully. This is the golden rule: bright days, dark nights. By following this principle, you give your biological clock the best chance to stay accurate, helping sleep come naturally, deeply, and consistently. Now that we understand how light and darkness impact sleep, the most important question is, what can older adults do to protect their sleep every night? Here are some simple but highly effective steps that anyone can apply. First, create a completely dark sleeping environment. This may sound easy, but it can make the biggest difference. Use thick blackout curtains to block streetlights from entering the room. Cover up small light sources like digital clocks, televisions, or phone chargers. If your room still has light despite all that, use a soft sleep mask. It is a cheap but very effective way to help your eyes sink into complete darkness. Second, follow the rule: bright days, dark nights. During the day, especially in the morning, older adults should get plenty of natural light exposure. A simple routine like walking outside, sitting near a sunny window, or opening the curtains first thing in the morning helps reset the biological clock. This means that by nighttime, the body will naturally produce melatonin at the right time, making it easier to fall asleep. In the evening, reduce artificial light as much as possible, especially blue light from phones, computers, or televisions. These types of light have strong wavelengths that trick the brain into thinking it is still daytime. A golden rule is to stop using screens at least 1 hour before bed. Instead, you can read a light paper book, listen to relaxing music, or practice deep breathing. Third, if you are worried about safety while moving in the dark, choose smarter lighting options instead of keeping a night light on all night. Use a red or amber motion sensor nightlight. These types of light affect melatonin far less than white or blue light. They only turn on when you move and turn off right after, keeping you safe without ruining your sleep. Aside from light, do not forget to build healthy sleep habits. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps your body create a regular sleep rhythm. Avoid caffeine, strong tea, or alcohol in the evening. All of them can reduce sleep quality. Instead, try a calming herbal tea like chamomile or lavender to help you relax. Finally, listen to your body. If you often struggle to fall asleep, wake up in the middle of the night, or feel tired all day, do not ignore those signs. Sometimes, the root cause is just the lighting in your room. A simple change, turning your bedroom into a fully dark space, might bring a huge improvement in how you sleep and feel. Before you leave this video, I invite you to leave a positive comment as a personal commitment. I deserve deep and healthy sleep every night. Or share any good wish that is meaningful to you. And do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you will not miss out on valuable tips that help make our later years more peaceful, joyful, and full of energy. Let us build a community full of kindness and positivity, a place where each of us can sleep well and live healthier, happier lives every day.